Welcome to the Bootstrap Mogul Podcast, where we bring you the grassroots tips, tricks, and stories in everything entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and personal development. I'm your host, Andres Holguin. Hello there, all you bootstrappy moguls out there. This is Andres Holguin, your host for the Bootstrap Mogul Podcast. Now, I hope this episode finds you well and you're excited to dive into the thrilling world of startups. So thanks for tuning in. Whether you're a longtime listener or you're just discovering our community, you are absolutely going to love what we've got for you today. So we're talking about a topic that's a game changer for all entrepreneurs. One that's a must-have in your toolbox in this digital age, the power of social media. Yep, you heard it right, social media. The global town square, the contemporary billboard, the modern-day word of mouth. It's the place where you can amplify your voice, share your story, and engage with your audience on a whole new level. Now, when I was starting my entrepreneurial journey, social media was still a bit of an enigma for me and so many other businesses. But as I started to understand its potential, it was like discovering a gold mine. And from connecting with my customers to promoting, my services, social media transformed how I approached marketing engagement. And that's the journey I want to take you on today. We're going to dive deep into how you can leverage this amazing tool to connect with your audience, grow your business, and create lasting relationships with your customers. So sit tight, grab a notepad, and let's navigate the world of social media together. Welcome to another episode of the Bootstrap Mogul Podcast. So before we dive in, let's lay down the foundation. What exactly is social media? Well, to some, it might seem like just a platform to post selfies, share vacation pictures, or watch those so addictive recipe videos. Yes, I've tried a few, and no, they didn't all turn out as planned, unless I was watching a video from my all-time favorite cook, Ina Garten. But in the realm of startups and businesses, social media is a powerful platform that's about connecting, engaging, and sharing with a wider audience. Social media, in essence, are digital platforms designed to allow people to quickly share content and engage with each other. But for businesses, these platforms become channels to amplify their messages, showcase their brand personality, and truly connect with their audience on a personal level. So let's take a real-world example to illustrate this. Now, have you ever booked a stay on Airbnb? Most of you probably have, or at least know of it. And did you know that in its early days, Airbnb used social media not just as a promotional tool, but as a means to build a community and trust around its brand? And I've talked about Airbnb, but they really did something phenomenal. They told stories, and rather than just showcasing their listings, they used platforms like Instagram and Facebook to share experiences. They posted pictures of unique homes, behind-the-scenes glimpses of hosts preparing for guests, and stories of travelers making memories in different parts of the world. And it wasn't just about lodging, it was about the experience, the connection between the host and the traveler, and the memories made. And through these stories, Airbnb was able to foster trust. Trust in a brand new concept of letting strangers stay in your home. Trust in trying out an alternative to hotels. And with every share, like, and comment, their community grew, and so did their brand. Now, imagine what social media could do for your startup or your business when it's harnessed correctly. Now, just like Airbnb, you have stories to tell, experiences to share, and a community waiting to be built. The potential is limitless. So, are you excited yet? Because this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got plenty more insights to dive into. So, we've talked about what social media is and the amazing impact it can have on your startup. Now, let's dive into something absolutely crucial, choosing the right platform. Now, you might be thinking, shouldn't I be everywhere? Like, spread my wings across all platforms? But my friends, that's a common pitfall. Trust me, it's about being where your audience is and where your content will truly shine. Now, there are so many platforms, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, now Threads, and so much more. Each one is unique and it serves different purposes. Now, some are more professional, some are more visual, and some are more casual. The key is to find which ones align with your business's target audience, goals, and type of content. So here's a simple way to think about it. Where does your target audience hang out? Are they professionals networking on LinkedIn, or are they creative millennials discovering trends on Instagram? What type of content do you create? Is it visually captivating images or thought-provoking articles? Lastly, what are your goals? Do you want to drive website traffic or build an engaged community? The answers to these questions will guide you to the right platforms. So let's take a real-world example here. Fashion Nova, which is a fashion brand that has exploded in popularity over the last few years, and Instagram was a perfect platform for them. Why? Because their audience, primarily young, fashion-conscious women, are heavily active on Instagram. The brand's content, which is highly visual, showcasing trending clothes, suits Instagram's image center platform. And their goal was to build a community of fashionistas and drive sales, both of which Instagram could cater to with its shopping feature and engagement tools. So Fashion Nova harnessed the power of Instagram, and oh boy, did it work wonders for them. With more than 20 million followers and a highly engaged community, Fashion Nova has become a dominant player in the fast fashion industry. Now imagine what finding the right platform could do for your business. But remember, it's not about the quantity of platforms, but the quality of your presence. And being effective on one or two platforms is far more valuable than having a sparse presence on all. So let's dig deeper on how to make your presence count on these platforms. Okay, so you've got your platforms picked out. What's next? Now comes the part where we start to build. Let's talk about crafting your social media strategy. Yes, my friend, diving into social media without a strategy is like setting sail without a compass. You might catch a good wind, but you're not quite sure where you're headed. So having a clear and defined social media strategy gives you direction, helps you stay focused on your goals, and lets you measure your progress. Now, a good social media strategy has a few key elements. First, you need to truly understand your audience. Who are they? What interests them? When are they active online? What problems are they facing that your business can solve? A deep understanding of your audience will guide your content creation and engagement strategy. Next, set SMART goals. I talk about these all the time, but SMART goals are things that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, this could be anything from increasing your followers by 20% in the next 3 months to boosting your website traffic from social media by 30% in, let's say, 6 months. Remember, goals give your strategy a direction and a purpose. Now, let's talk content. Having a content calendar is a game changer. A content calendar helps you plan, organize, and schedule your content in advance. This way, you're not scrambling for what to post at the last minute. And guess what? There are amazing tools that can help you with this. For instance, Later, which is a social media management platform that I use, offers an intuitive content calendar where you can visualize your content schedule, arrange and rearrange your posts, and even auto-publish them at your chosen times. It's a lifesaver, especially if you're managing multiple social media platforms, or let's say you're a side hustler and you're just getting started and you've got your day job, but you still want to get some content going out there. But wait, don't forget about engagement. A successful social media strategy is not just about posting content, it's about engaging with your audience. So respond to comments, start discussions, and create opportunities for your audience to engage with you. So to wrap this part up, a good social media strategy is all about understanding your audience, setting clear goals, planning your content, and fostering engagement. Now keep these in mind and you're on your way to social media success. Now let's go ahead and talk about how do we turn followers into customers. Okay, so let's really get into the meat of what your social media strategy is doing for you and how do you create engaging and valuable content that ultimately is going to turn those people into customers. You see, content is like your golden ticket in the world of social media. It's what grabs attention, sparks interest, drives engagement, and ultimately turns followers into those customers. Now, you might be wondering, what makes content engaging? Well, first and foremost, it must provide value. Whether it's educational, informational, entertaining, inspiring, it has to enrich your audience's life in some way. Next, your content should tell a story. Stories have the power to connect, inspire, and build relationships. They humanize your brand and make it relatable. It can be the story of your brand, your customers, or even behind the scenes looks into your operations. And third, create opportunities for interaction. So ask questions, create polls, start a challenge, anything that encourages your audience to engage with your content. Now, let's take a look at a real world example. So GoPro, the action camera company, has built a hugely engaged community through user-generated content. Their strategy is genius because they encourage their users to capture and share their adventures using GoPro cameras and share these user-generated contents on their own social media platforms. And by doing so, GoPro doesn't just showcase their product in action, they create a sense of community and adventure. They give their users a platform to share their experiences and at the same time inspire others to go out, explore, and capture their own adventures. Now that's engaging content. Plus, this strategy also encourages more people to buy and use GoPro cameras so they can become part of this exciting community. So talk about a win-win. So as you craft your content, remember, make it valuable, make it tell a story, and make it interactive. And hey, don't be afraid to think outside the box because you might just create the next viral trend. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about another aspect of social media that's incredibly valuable but often overlooked. Using social media as a customer service tool. In today's digital age, customers expect quick and convenient service, and social media offers just that. It provides a platform for customers to reach out to your business with questions, complaints, or feedback, and it gives it the opportunity to respond in real time. Now, responding to customer inquiries on social media not only solves their immediate problem, but it also shows other users that you are a responsive and customer-centric brand. Plus, it adds a human touch to your brand, which makes it way more relatable and trustworthy. Now, a fantastic example of a company doing this right is JetBlue Airways. They have a dedicated Twitter account at JetBlue solely for handling customer inquiries and concerns. Their responses are timely, helpful, and they're often infused with a touch of humor. They also proactively reach out to customers who have tweeted about their flights, even if they haven't tagged the company directly. And by doing this, JetBlue turns what could be a negative experience into a positive interaction, effectively building customer loyalty. It's a masterclass in social media customer service. So remember, your social media platforms aren't just for promotion, they're also powerful tools for customer service. Don't neglect the comments, messages, and mentions. Respond promptly, be helpful, and always maintain a friendly and professional tone. So we're going to talk about the leverage, the power and leverage of social media analytics. Yes, numbers can be fun. So how do we talked a lot about choosing the right platforms, crafting engaging content, but how do you measure the effectiveness of your social media efforts? Well, enter the powerful and wonderful world of social media metrics and analytics. Metrics and analytics provide data that can help you understand how your content is performing and how your audience is engaging with it. This data is essential in determining what's working, what's not, and how to improve. So, what are some key metrics that you should track? Well, it really depends on your goals, but here are a few basics. First is reach. This tells you how many people saw your post, and a larger reach means that your content is getting in front of more eyes, which is always a good thing. Next is engagement. This includes likes, comments, shares, saves, anything where somebody is actually interacting with your post. So high engagement indicates that your content resonates with your audience and it prompts them to interact. Next is click-through rate. This is especially important if you're using social media to drive traffic to your website. A high click-through rate, or CTR, means that your content is compelling enough to convince people to click the link. And finally, conversion rate. This measures how many social media interactions resulted in a desired action, like making a purchase or signing up for a newsletter or filling out a form. So here's an interesting real-world example. Netflix. The streaming giant is known for using data to make content decisions, and that extends to their social media. They observe trends, monitor conversations, and gather data from their social media platforms to understand what their audiences like, dislike, and want more of. This data then informs not just their social media content, but also their overall content strategy, which leads to more engaged users and more successful releases. So don't shy away from metrics and analytics because they're your best friends when it comes to understanding your audience and creating a successful social media strategy. Next, we're going to move on to some of the pitfalls to avoid when managing your social media presence. Now, we've covered a lot about the power of social media, but it's not all smooth sailing. There are some common mistakes that, businesses can make in their social media strategy. So let's talk about those and how you can avoid them. The first common pitfall is inconsistent posting. You've probably seen this before. A business page that posts 3 times a day for a week and then suddenly goes radio silent for a month. And this inconsistency can confuse and disengage your audience. Well, how do you avoid it? Well, content calendars, something we just talked about, right? Plan your posts in advance, considering the right times to post for maximum engagement. There are even tools out there that can automate the posting process, like I mentioned later, which is the one that I use. Another common mistake is ignoring comments and messages. Your audience wants to engage with you, so not responding can come off as dismissive or neglectful. And as we've mentioned before, always respond promptly to comments and messages, even if it's just to say thank you. Also, avoid overpromotion. While it's important to talk about your products or services, your social media shouldn't be a constant sales pitch. So strive for a good balance between promotional content and value-adding content that educates, entertains, or inspires your audience. And finally, remember that quality trumps quantity. It's so much better to have fewer high-quality posts than a barrage of low-quality ones. So focus on creating content that resonates with your audience and aligns with your brand values. But also, on the flip side of that, don't strive for perfection. Don't try to create the absolutely perfect piece of content before you post it. Get it to a point where you feel like it's good enough and it provides value, and then share it. So there you have it, folks, some of the common social media pitfalls and how you can navigate them. Don't let these potential mistakes deter you because they're part of the learning process. So we've covered a ton of ground today, haven't we? The power of social media for your business, how to choose the right platforms, the art of creating engagement content, and even navigating some common pitfalls. But here are a few key takeaways. First, social media isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's a must have. It offers a direct line to your customers and a platform to tell your story. Next, understand your audience to select the right platforms. Each platform has its strengths and audience demographics. Third, creating a social media strategy is crucial. This means understanding your audience, setting clear goals, and scheduling content ahead of time. Fourth, your content should be engaging and valuable. Always strive to add value, whether it's educational, inspirational, or simply entertaining. 5, don't overlook social media metrics. These insights can help you understand what's resonating with your audience and what's not. And lastly, avoid common pitfalls like inconsistent posting, ignoring comments, overpromotion, low quality posts, or focusing too much on perfection of a post as well. Now, I hope this episode has given you some actionable insights and inspiration to harness the power of social media for your business. It's a journey, And like all journeys, there will be highs and lows, but the rewards can be immense. Next week, we have another interesting topic lined up for you, which is decoding growth hacking. So if you're looking for innovative ways to grow your business, you definitely don't want to miss it. So thanks for listening, folks. As always, keep grinding, and remember, every mogul started with just a dream and a whole lot of determination. I'll see you next time.